So in case you've been living under a rock for the past few months, this is PLAYERUNKNOWN'S BATTLEGROUNDS, a battle royale game where you and 99 other people compete in a massive free-for-all deathmatch. Sounds familiar, right? Yes, it is strikingly similar to H1Z1, but is it exactly the same? Definitely not. Just to go over the basics for everyone, you all drop out of a plane at the beginning of the round and plummet to what I can only assume is some kind of prison island in an unnamed Eastern European country. Pochinki, Sosnovka Island, Yasnaya Poliana, Georgiapol, Lipovka, Novorepnoye. I don't know, dude. I guess that's the going theory on the meta of this game, is that you're all prisoners of some kind, forced to fight to the death for some rich prince's amusement or something. Anyway, once you touch down, it's a mad scramble to find weapons to defend yourself with, as with this large amount of players, the island is deceivingly small, and it won't be long before you run into someone else whose goal is to murder you in cold blood, and then probably shout China #1 over and over again at you. It's pretty embarrassing, not gonna lie. Speaking of weapons, there are a lot of neat options for you to find, scattered pretty much everywhere on the map, mostly in buildings, mind you. Some choice weapons that are worth mentioning, I think, are UMP9 and the Vector, a double barrel shotty, pump action shotty, auto shotty, the AKM, M16, M416, Scar L, the SKS, the Kar 98 AK, or the Karak I've heard it called, and of course the brutal AWM, or as us Counter-Strike players know it as, the OP. And that's just a real quick overview. I did miss some. Those are kind of like the most frequently found ones. There are a few more that I didn't mention, it's just because I really haven't had the opportunity to use them in a real game yet, because they are just a little more rare, and I guess they only show up in supply drops, which I will now explain. Along with weapons you find in random buildings, there are also supply drops at various points throughout the match that drop the best weapons and gear available in the game. Deciding whether or not to go after these supply drops, though, it's a tough decision. On one hand, you may be able to get your hands on a sweet AWM, but on the other hand, a lot of people use these drops as bait, so you might be walking into a trap as well. But the ultimate goal of the game here is to be the last one alive. You can accomplish this goal by trying to run around, killing as many people as you can, looting their gear, and making it to the end and killing everybody. Or you can camp in a building the entire game with a shotgun like a scrub. The only problem with that is, during the match, the playable area shrinks as the match goes on. Get caught outside the play area and you will start to lose health. The later it is in the match, the more health you lose by being outside the play area. So you really are forced to move at certain points, which is meant to keep the gameplay moving along at a good pace. If you manage to avoid being murdered the entire match, it always ends with a 1v1, you and the last person. Winner takes the chicken dinner. Yep, that's pretty much it. You get a message saying winner winner chicken dinner and a bunch of BP or battle points, which you can then use to unlock supply crates containing, various clothing items for your character. Cosmetic only. I hate to be like a pessimist here, but the amount of stress that you experience if you make it to that point in the match where it's down to you and the last guy totally does not fit the prize here. But the prize is really not what's important here. It's the journey that is the reward. The game is intense, suspenseful, tactical, realistic, and highly skill-based, which are all big pluses in my eyes. And the gameplay mechanics, oh my god, dude, they're perfect. Frame rate and optimization are just amazing, and the game runs just, smooth as butter. There's absolutely no lag at all. Vehicle mechanics are golden.
Oh, we get hot shots at us. Oh, I'm dead.
And the community is just, the greatest.
Motherfucker, shut up, bitch! China #1, China #1.
Money's
number one, China.
Fucking fag. You're in love with Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber can fuck your mother.
Now that was partly sarcasm. Sure, there are some bad apples like that, but for the most part, the community is actually really great.
Turned off everything except
Let's
for
get
chat.
Do the fucking drop. Do the drop.
China number one.
Because it is annoying.
Oh my.
Of course, I am joking a little bit there. There are definitely some issues with this game when it comes to performance and stuff, but it is in early access and it is very much actively being patched and improved on. I guess the creator of this game is very active in his community and you can ask him questions or make suggestions. He actually takes them into consideration and everything too, so I think that's great. Also, even with all the quote-unquote rustiness, we'll call it, this game has, it is still super fun and it is growing in player base every day. I've been playing a lot lately and I really enjoy the game, so if you were on the fence about it before, I would definitely recommend paying the $30-some it is for early access, because like I said, this game is super fun and it's probably only gonna get better. It's also not just a solo game, of course. You can play as a duo against other teams of 2 or as a squad of 4 guys, and let me tell you something, squad games get really intense. When you have 2 or 3 groups of 4 all battling it out in a small area, shit gets crazy and it is awesome. But solo is a lot of fun too, actually. That's what I've been playing the most of, and it also gets super intense at the end when there's like 6 guys left in a small area and everyone's pretty much gunning for everyone. Crazy intense. Another thing I want to touch on is sort of the obvious question here, like how is this game different from H1Z1 and why should I play Battlegrounds over H1Z1? Well, the simple answer is that Battlegrounds is a little less arcadey than H1Z1, I guess. You know, in H1Z1 you can sort of hop out of a vehicle moving at full speed and immediately start blasting someone away with your insanely accurate third-person view. In Battlegrounds, if you try to pull something off like that, it wouldn't go quite as well.
Oh, I got him down. Oh, I got stuck on the vehicle. Fuck.
So yeah, you can't jump out of moving vehicles because you'll die, and also the third person aiming is pretty much only effective in close quarters combat, and you really want to be aiming down sights for anything like other than the guys right in front of you sort of thing. So it's a little more realistic, tactical, and skill-based than H1Z1. I'd say there's a lot more sneaking around, trying to be quiet, and less balls to the wall, you know, jumping out of vehicles screaming Taiwan #1, you know? Even though that's funny as hell, I get it. And just as a final note on this game, if you do decide to get it, be prepared to die a lot at the beginning of rounds. Just don't worry, don't get too mad, it's gonna happen a lot. Finding a weapon at the start of the round before someone else does is very much based on chance, so just be aware of that and, you know, don't get too discouraged when you die a lot, because this game is pretty unforgiving in that regard. But possibly the best feature of the game, in my opinion, is that as soon as you die, you can exit that game and jump right into the next one pretty much instantly. Matchmaking takes no time at all, which is something I really enjoy about this game. And that's pretty much it. That's Battlegrounds in a nutshell. I really like it. I've been having a lot of fun with it lately, so 8 out of 10? Definitely would recommend. And that score could come up in the future too if they're able to iron out some of the performance issues and lag as the game's development goes on. But that's it for me this time. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I may try to stream this game if I can. I gotta figure out if the performance will hold up well enough, but we'll see. So keep an eye out for notifications of that. I'll try to let you guys know as best I can in as many ways possible. But until next time, my name's Grizz, and I'll see you all in the near future. Peace.